Good evening and welcome to the West Milton Council Meeting, July 9th, 2019. I'd like to ask everybody to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation by Father Michael Small. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Psalm 1. Happy are those who do not follow the counsel of the wicked, nor go the way of sinners, nor sit in company with scoffers. Rather, the law of the Lord is their joy, God's law they study day and night. They are like a tree planted near streams of water that yields its fruits in season. Its leaves never wither. Whatever they do prosper. Heavenly Father, bless this today, the West Milton Council Meeting, and all those who gather here. Provide them the wisdom and knowledge to speak what is good and bring good to the people and all those who are entrusted with care. And lead them and guide them and make them a wonderful evening. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Miller,
Present.
Land,
Here.
Cobb, Hurst,
Here.
Fogel,
Here.
Dorman,
Here.
and Grudich.
Here.
I believe we had two council members, Sarah and Don, that were both absent from the workshop. Are there any motions?
I'd like to make a motion to excuse Councilmember Dorman and Councilmember Kopp from the June 25th council workshop.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Land,
Yes.
Cobb, Hurst,
Yes.
Fogel,
Yes.
Dorman,
Abstain.
Grudich,
Yes.
and Mayor Miller.
Yes. At this time, the council received workshop minutes, and because of the busy time of the year with the holiday and everything, we quite haven't had enough time to review everything, so I believe that we're going to table the approval of minutes until we have more time to look everything over. So we're going to move on to correspondence to council.
Yes, Mayor, just one. Most everyone received it. It's from DP&L, just giving us notice that they've made application for a transmission line, which I know has been out in the public and has had some public hearings, I believe. And it's just a letting you know and also giving you a CD that shows the application that's to the state of Ohio, PUCO, and what the route's going to be, et cetera. But that's the only correspondence we have for this evening.
Thank you, Manager Klein. I'd like to open the floor up to any comments from citizens regarding tonight's legislation. There are three pieces of legislation on the agenda tonight. An ordinance from second reading from last month regarding massage services, a resolution to purchase property, and a resolution for appointing new community authority members. Seeing that there's no comments from citizens, moving on to our ordinances and resolutions, CM-19-09, an ordinance for Chapter 842 massage services. Ms. Brosh.
It's an ordinance adopting Chapter 842 massage service establishments of the West Milton Code of Ordinances.
Thank you. Manager Klein, is there anything to expand upon?
Nothing really more to add. I think the biggest regulation, when it speaks of regulations, is that massage services need to be licensed by the state of Ohio.
Very good, thank you. Is there any motions for the ordinance?
Mayor Miller, I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance CM 19-09, the ordinance for Chapter 842 massage service establishment.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Land.
No.
Cop.
Yes.
Hurst.
Yes.
Fogel.
Yes.
Dorman.
Yes.
Grudich.
Yes.
And Mayor Miller.
Yes. Second one is CM-19-10, resolution to purchase property. Ms. Brosh.
It's a resolution to authorize the municipal manager to purchase real estate on behalf of the municipality of West Milton. Whereas the municipal manager on behalf of council for the municipality of West Milton has negotiated in good faith to purchase a portion of the real property located at 219 Stillwater Street, West Milton, Ohio, more fully described in attached Exhibit A. And whereas the owner of said real property has accepted the negotiated purchase price of $200 for the same. And whereas council for the municipality of West Milton is in agreement with the terms of the purchase contract. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, municipal manager has negotiated in good faith to purchase the portion of real property located at 219 Stillwater Street, West Milton, Ohio, as described in Exhibit A, attached hereto and incorporated herein as if fully rewritten. Section 2, the owner of said real property has accepted the negotiated purchase price of $200 for said property. Section 3, the municipal manager is authorized to execute a contract for the purchase of the real property described in Exhibit A for the negotiated purchase price of $200.
Thank you. Manager Klein.
As we've been discussing in several meetings, we're trying to make the intersection at J, Market, and Stillwater safer for a driver. And all of you who drive it, you know, when you come up to one area, you have to look beyond 90 degrees to see if anyone's coming either way. And we're trying to make that Stillwater a little more perpendicular. So that means it has a small bend to it. If it has that small bend, there's a small triangular piece of ground, which is included, the map is included in the ordinance. It's 35 feet one way, 35 feet another way, and 55 feet long. So it's a very small little piece of ground. But because the city is purchasing ground, it's required that council has to approve that purchase because we're going to be the new owners of that little piece of ground. But that little triangular piece of ground will allow us then to make Stillwater Street as perpendicular as possible to make it safer for that intersection. And that's what this is.
Thank you. Is there any motions for the resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution CM-19-10.
Second. Roll call, please.
Land.
Yes.
Cop.
Yes.
Hurst.
Yes.
Fogel.
Yes.
Dorman.
Yes.
Grudich.
Yes.
And Mayor Miller.
Yes. Last one for tonight is CM-19-11, a resolution for appointing new community authority members. Ms. Brosh.
It's a resolution appointing members of the Board of Trustees of the Stillwater Crossings New Community Authority. Whereas on October 24th, 2017, by its resolution CM-17-30, the Council of the Village of West Milton, Ohio, approved a petition for establishment of the Stillwater Crossings New Community Authority under Chapter 349 of the Ohio Revised Code. And whereas further pursuant to Resolution CM-17-30 and the petition, this council appointed Scott Fogel and Tony Hughes to serve initial one-year terms on the Board of Trustees of the Stillwater Crossings New Community Authority as citizen members of the board. And whereas further pursuant to Resolution CM-17-30 and the petition, this council appointed Vicki Bly to serve an initial two-year term on the Board of the Authority as a citizen member of the board, and Matt Klein to serve an initial two-year term on the Board of Authority as the representative of local government. And whereas this council now desires to reappoint individuals to serve the remainder of the two-year terms of citizen members ending on October 24th, 2020, and to provide appointments for the two-year term of a citizen member ending on October 24th, 2021, and the two-year term of the representative of local government ending on October 24th, 2021. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, appointments of citizen members for terms ending October 24th, 2020. As provided in the petition, this council hereby appoints Anthony Miller and Scott Hurst to serve the remainder of the two-year citizen member terms on the Board of the Authority ending on October 24th, 2020. Section 2, appointment of citizen member and representative of local government, terms ending October 24th, 2021. As provided in the petition, this council hereby appoints Vicky Bly to serve the 2-year citizen member term on the Board of the Authority ending on October 24th, 2021, and Matt Klein to serve the 2-year representative of local government term on the Board of the Authority ending on October 24th, 2021. Section 3, open meetings. This council finds and determines that all formal actions of this council and any of its committees concerning and relating to the passage of this resolution were taken in an open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations of this council and any of its committees that resulted in those formal actions were in meetings open to the public, all in compliance with the law, including Revised Code Section 121.22. Section 5, this resolution shall be effective from and after the earliest time provided by law.
Thank you, Ms. Brush. Manager Klein?
Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, the resolution speaks for itself. When we created the TIFs 2 years ago and approved the development, it does require a new community authority. It's actually a 7-member board. It spells it out in the revised code. The local government appoints 4 members and the developer appoints 3 members. Because the financing is now in the final stages, it is now time for that new community authority to meet. So I happened to think when I got back that, hey, you know, we appointed this 2 years ago, and I was positive in my mind that they were 1- and 2-year terms, and that's correct. And Lene and I have had discussions with Bricker and Associates to make sure that we do everything correctly, and they agreed with us that we needed to reappoint new members for a 1-year and a 2-year term. The NCA will be meeting here probably within the month, and what it oversees is really just the financial arms that have been created by both council, by the council, and also by the borrowing. So that's what that board will really do. So again, we get 4-year appointments, or 4-member appointments, and the developer gets 3. And then once the TIFs start rolling off, this, I believe, the board just then dissolves.
Thank you. Any questions or motions concerning the resolution?
Make a motion to accept resolution CM-19-11 as written.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Land.
Yes.
Cobb. Hurst.
Yes.
Fogel.
Yes.
Dorman.
Yes.
Grudich.
Yes.
And Mayor Miller.
Yes. Moving along to the manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Council and guests this evening, welcome. Just only one thing, and that's just to make an announcement, and of course we'll be doing this via the newspaper as well, that council during its regular workshop will be having a short special session of council for the first reading of an ordinance regarding a request for a zoning change. That request is a 1-acre lot. I included a map in the memo today for you, just to familiarize yourself with it. It's off of Stone Meadows, off of 571. For some reason, this 1-acre lot, I've been trying to understand the history by going over past minutes of when Stone Meadows was first built 20, 30 years ago. But this lot in particular happens to be actually zone B3, which is a business zone. It does not face or front 571. If you're familiar with where Izzy's drive-through is, it's that ground that's behind it. If you look at it on its face, probably should be an R1. The planning board met on July 3rd. They held a public hearing off of the request, and their recommendation to council is to switch it from a B3 to an R1. The reason that we're having this special session is that there is a purchase agreement contingent upon successful rezoning. And both planning board and staff would recommend to council that it be considered to be switched to an R1. It makes more sense from a land planning standpoint. The property right next south to it is a single-family home. It's really, when you enter there, it's the first really lot that's doesn't face or front 571. So it makes sense that it would be residential. I can't answer why 30 years ago it became B3, but that's beyond me. But because both the current owner and the proposed buyer are wanting to break ground for financial reasons, obviously, and it makes sense, we decided to go ahead with just a short special session for the first reading of an ordinance. And then at the second reading, we will hold, as we traditionally do, a public hearing, which we will invite all people, just like the planning board did, more than 300, or about 300 feet, or I think it's 300 feet from that property. And of course, we'll announce it via our newspaper as well. So that's the only thing I have for this evening.
Thank you. Moving on to old business. Any old business for council? I have just one item to bring up, and that's regarding the 4th of July. And I believe Tom Beck there in the back has some footage from the 4th of July parade. I think that it turned out really well. The parade seemed to be really well attended. As we went through, I noticed that the sidewalks were full all the way down from the city building all the way downtown to McDonald's. So it was a good turnout. I think that everything went really well according to that. The cool little surprise there at the end was the flyover care flight. I thought that was pretty neat too. So, and then also with the fireworks, I think that it seemed to be really well attended again. And I thought that, at least in my opinion, that was probably one of the best finales I think we've ever had. So
It was almost so bright you couldn't even look.
it was pretty cool. So, and it was just nonstop. So they did a heck of a job. I'd like to say thank you to the 4th of July committee for putting all that together and all the hard work and dedication that it took to pull off this event. We really appreciate it. And if you're interested in helping out the 4th of July committee, they are always looking for more people to help out. So feel free to get a hold of them on their Facebook page, and we appreciate all the stuff that you guys do for us. So thank you. Moving on to new business, I have just two things that I was going to talk about. One is, this is kind of new and old business. The dental clinic and the Health Partners free health clinic started today. Started today. And I just got a message that everything went well. They had all of their patients show up so far today that they've booked. They seem to enjoy the space that they had. It seemed to be working for them next door. So it sounded like that was successful. So if there's anybody out there that is still looking for dental cleanings or health checkups, you can schedule those by either calling the Miami County Dental Clinic, or you can come into the City Hall and we have information that you guys can get there. And they're running that. They're actually going to stay here an extra week, so it'll be through July 26th now. So they wanted to stay here a little bit longer because they were already booked up enough. So, and then also, and I don't know if Manager Klein, if you wanted to announce anything about the police academy or anything like that, if that was, I'd written it down. There's a Citizens Police Academy coming up. They're taking applications until August the 2nd, I believe. So anybody that would be interested in joining the West Milton Police Force as a citizen and seeing what they actually do and have to go through every day, and the hard job that they do and the service that they provide, it's a great experience. So I think that would be something that would be pretty valuable. So
Are kids allowed to come?
I think it's 18 or older. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and that's all I have. So, anybody else have?
I do. I just wanted to remind everybody about the farmer's market on Saturday from 9 to noon. And we're going to have Kids Day, July 20th and August 17th. So if anybody has any kids out there that want to bring their crafts or whatever, flowers, I know we've had a little girl that grows flowers and she brought them, and we've had painted rocks, and we've had all kinds of things for the Kids Day. So their space is free. So it's July 20th and August 17th.
Be cool if they painted moon rocks for July 20th, 50th anniversary of
The
Animal
moon
Man.
landing, yeah. Thank you, Karen. Any comments from citizens tonight? No? At this time, are there any other motions for the meeting?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you.